Alice stood at the edge of the ancient wharf, the saltwater breeze of Oak Island gently tugging at her auburn hair. The legend of the island's treasure had haunted her dreams for months. It was said that the bounty was hidden deep beneath the island. Millionaires and adventurers alike had come seeking the treasure, but none had yet to claim victory over its enigmatic puzzles. With her trusty metal detector in hand, Alice scanned the beach with excitement. Each beat was a potential clue, a step closer to the prize that could change her life. The sand whispered secrets. The sun was high in the sky, casting long shadows over the rugged coastline that stretched out before her, beckoning her to explore its hidden depths. First few hours passed with little to show. Only a few coins and some rusty artifacts that spoke of a history long forgotten. Yet, Alice remained undeterred. She had studied the island's lore meticulously, and she knew that patience was the key. The treasure would not reveal itself easily to the unworthy. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky with strokes of orange and pink, Alice stumbled upon a peculiar pattern in the sand. It was a series of irregularly spaced depressions, almost as if something large and heavy had been buried and then uncovered by the relentless tides over time. Her heart raced as she knelt down. The pattern grew clearer as she brushed away the loose sand with her gloved hand. It formed a distinct shape, a square, with each side measuring approximately 2 feet in length. Alice knew she had found something significant. Her research had mentioned such symbols, cryptic markers left behind by those who had come before, hinting at the treasure's location. With trembling fingers, she traced the edges of the square, feeling the coolness of the earth beneath the surface. Her excitement grew as she realized that the metal detector's pitch was becoming high. This was it, the moment she had been waiting for. With a determined look, Alice took out her shovel and began to dig. The sand was surprisingly loose, giving way easily to her eager strokes. Deeper she went, the light fading as she uncovered layers of history. The air grew cooler and heavier, as if the island itself was holding its breath in anticipation of her discovery. As the last sliver of sun disappeared below the horizon, Alice's shovel hit something solid. She paused, her heart pounding in her chest. Carefully, she brushed away the remaining sand to reveal an aged, wooden chest. Its surface was scarred by the ravages of time and the sea, but the metal fittings glinted in the moonlight, hinting at the treasures within. Her hands trembled with excitement as she tried the latch. It was locked, but she had come prepared. From her backpack, she pulled out a set of lock picks and set to work. The lock clicked open with a satisfying sound, and Alice lifted the creaky lid. The musty smell of centuries-old air wafted out, mixing with the salty scent of the sea. Inside, she found a leather-bound book and a tattered map. The map was of Oak Island itself, with various markings and symbols that seemed to indicate hidden locations and paths. The book, she discovered as she opened it, contained detailed accounts of the treasure hunters who had come before her. Their names, their methods, and their ultimate failures were all laid bare on the yellowed pages. Her eyes widened as she read the first entry. It spoke of a curse that had befallen those who sought the treasure greedily, a curse that had led to their downfall. Yet, there was an escape clause. The treasure would only reveal itself to the ones who approached with a pure heart and the intention to share its wealth. Alice's resolve grew stronger. As she realized she had been guided to this spot for a reason. This was no mere treasure hunt, it was a test of character. The map was more intricate than she had imagined. It was not just a guide to the treasure, but a puzzle within a puzzle. Each symbol and marking was a riddle waiting to be deciphered. Alice knew that she had stumbled upon something that could change the course of history. Her heart raced as she studied the map under the moon's glow, the chest's contents whispering of adventures untold. The book contained more than just cautionary tales. It was a manual of sorts, filled with clues and cryptic messages that held the key to unlocking the island's secrets. Alice read by the light of her flashlight, her eyes darting across the pages, her mind racing with possibilities. The story spoke of ingenious tracks and hidden compartments, of riddles that could only be solved by the most astute of minds. One entry caught her eye. It told of a stone triangle that, when aligned with the stars during a rare lunar eclipse, would reveal the entrance to the treasure chamber. Alice checked her watch. The eclipse was just days away. She had to move quickly. With newfound urgency, she studied the mapping book, cross-referencing the symbols and notes with the layout of the island. The night grew cold, but Alice barely noticed as she pieced together the clues. The map's markings began to make sense, pointing to an area inland where the dense forest met the rugged coast. According to the book, this was where the original pirates had buried the treasure, cleverly hidden from those who sought it by sea. Her excitement grew as she recognized some of the landmarks from her earlier exploration. The island had revealed itself to be a labyrinth of natural and man-made obstacles, designed to protect the treasure from all but the most persistent. Alice knew she had to keep her wits about her.